Aha. Do you ever feel like the world's watching? Like every move you make is under a microscope? Scrolling, judging, laughing, while you're grinding in silence? Yeah, that's reality. And guess what? It's not just you. It's all of us. But here's the crazy part. You're stronger than you know. Ever wondered why some people rise while others crumble? Why do the quiet ones suddenly hit and leave the loud fools shook? It's not luck. Nah, it's a strategy, mindset, raw hunger, and a touch of chaos. And today, we're gonna tear that mask off your fear. Show you exactly how to flip the script and make the whole planet notice. But hey, real talk. I need you with me the whole ride. Watch every second, feel every word, because missing a moment is leaving power on the table. And while you're at it, drop a comment. Tell me your fire, your rage, your plan to rise. Big respect, real talk. You're the reason this video exists. They told you it was private. Your secrets, your skeletons, your whispers in the dark. They swore silence. And yet, here we are. The world is staring, not curious, not polite, hungry. Hungry for the fracture in your armor. Every glance, every eye is a spotlight on the parts of you you thought were safe. Funny, isn't it? You never noticed how fragile the walls around you were until someone else knocked. Now the echo of your own life rings louder than ever. And you're not hiding. You're exposed. Raw, vulnerable, deliciously visible. The panic sets in. First, slow, creeping, a shadow slipping down your spine. Your hands tremble before your mind even registers why. You were careful. You were cautious. You trusted the wrong people. Or maybe you trusted yourself too much. The illusion was perfect until it wasn't. Now every image of yourself you swore only existed in private, splintered, fragmented, and everywhere. Everyone sees, and they wait, waiting to judge, waiting to dissect, waiting to throw your failures like knives into the places you swore were untouchable. The funny thing about exposure, it doesn't just make you weak, it makes you aware, a new kind of clarity. Pain is loud, but clarity is deafening. You feel it in your stomach, in your chest, in your eyes when you realize there is no going back. You are a broadcast, a signal, and you can either crumble under the weight or lean into it. Let it seep under your skin, mold you, shape you, make you someone they'll never predict. But that choice, oh, it tastes bitter at first. Like smoke in your lungs, but it's fire, necessary fire. And fire burns the weak clean away. And here comes the chaos, the delicious chaos. The world thinks they're watching a catastrophe. They think they're witnesses. They have no idea. They don't know you're smiling behind your mask. Not a grin, not a smirk. Something sharper, something that whispers, I see you, I know you. And you don't know what's coming. Every notification, every whisper online, every stare in a cafe, it's ammunition, fuel. And you've just started loading the chamber. The truth of being watched is a strange thing. It can twist you, cripple you, or it can sharpen your senses to a blade no one else can hold. You start to notice patterns, faces, glances, timing, the way people pretend they don't see, the little cracks in the structure they call normal. It excites you, terrifies you, both at once. And the best part? No one knows how much you understand. No one even suspects. And that is delicious. And so the leak isn't the end. It's the beginning. A fracture that splits everything open. And you've been watching the fallout. Watching them scramble. Watching them panic. And here's the punch. The world thinks they're the predators. But you've learned something they never will. Exposure isn't weakness. It's the first strike. And by the time they realize the game has shifted, you'll be standing in the wreckage, smiling. Because here's the beauty. You can feel it now. The eyes on you, the whispers, the judgment, the fear. It's intoxicating. And you start to understand the power of being seen. Not for who you pretend to be, not for what you hide, but for every sharp edge they didn't expect, every crack you never polished, every dark corner that is yours alone. And that is when the game truly begins, when the leak becomes leverage, when vulnerability becomes a weapon. And suddenly, the world isn't watching you. They're running from you. They smiled at you while carving knives into your back. Every word is a blade. Every promise is a trap. You trusted them. You laughed with them. Shared pieces of yourself you swore were safe. And yet, they stitched your absence into their stories. Your victories are twisted into jokes. Your failures are amplified. You were invisible until the knife found its mark. And now, you can't unsee it. The betrayal glows, hot, sharp, unforgiving. You feel it in your chest, in your gut, in the edges of your mind that never sleep. Funny thing about betrayal, it teaches faster than any mentor. It's brutal, relentless, honest in a way no one else can be. You start to notice the cracks in people, the way they breathe when they lie, the pause before a compliment, the glint of hunger behind their eyes. You were blind once, but not anymore. And now, the world looks different. Everyone is potential poison. Everyone carries a shadow, and that knowledge, it's intoxicating. It burns. It burns like truth you didn't want to swallow. And yet, there is beauty in this ugliness. The collapse of trust. The shattering of illusions. You feel it in your veins. Electric. Delicious. The rage, the grief, the shock. They're no longer enemies. They're tools. Weapons. The betrayal sharpens you, sculpts you. Every smile that once fooled you now teaches you patience. Every lie that once hurt you now teaches strategy. You begin to understand that trust is nothing but a battlefield. And you are learning to walk without armor. They underestimated you. Always dismissed you, pushed you aside, thought you were small, weak, forgettable. They didn't notice the sparks behind your eyes, the quiet storm building beneath your skin. And now, the storm is ready. Every slight, every mockery, every knife in your back, it's fuel. And the more they try to control the narrative, the more fire you collect. You start to smile, not with relief, but with hunger. A hunger for recalibration, for reckoning, for chaos, served cold. And then the mirror cracks. Not literally, but in every reflection. You see the truth. You see the predator in the mask you've worn for too long. You see the lessons they couldn't teach, the strength they never imagined you'd have. You are forged from exposure, betrayal, and pain, not polished, not tamed, but sharp, dangerous. They never wanted to see this version of you. They never thought you'd survive the leaks, the knives, the lies. But here you are, alive, watching, waiting. Because betrayal is a gift, wrapped in deceit, delivered with malice, and it forces choice. Will you crumble? Will you bow? Or will you rise and use it all? The answer is clear now. Every glance, every whisper, every backstab is fuel. Every fracture in trust is an opportunity. And the beauty, the terrifying beauty, is that they made you this way. They sharpened you while laughing, and now the laughter belongs to you. Pain is louder than applause. It screams when the world whispers. It claws at your chest in the quiet moments. You think it breaks you, but it doesn't. Not if you pay attention. Every wound, every failure, every night spent staring at ceilings. It's currency. Precious, heavy, unforgiving. And you've been rich your whole life. Only you didn't know it. Until now. Until you realize the world owes you nothing, and pain owes you everything. Every scar tells a story, not the story you tell them, not the story you hide behind smiles, the real story, the one written in blood, in sweat, in sleepless eyes. You start counting them, not to mourn, not to despair, to invest. Every fracture in your life becomes a weapon. Every disappointment, a blueprint. Every betrayal, a lesson. And suddenly the chaos around you isn't punishment, it's profit. Pain isn't an enemy, it's a partner in the art of survival. And you start to feel something strange, something dangerous, a thrill. Not joy, not relief, something sharper. The realization that suffering doesn't diminish you. It amplifies you, makes you vivid, visible, terrifying to those who never dared to bleed. You take the ache and turn it over in your hands, weighty, solid, yours. And in that moment you understand everyone fears what they cannot control. And pain, you control it. The world will try to teach you comfort, safety, normalcy. But it's a lie. The softest beds hide the sharpest knives. The quietest nights echo the loudest screams. You've seen it, felt it, survived it. And so, you laugh. Not out loud, not to anyone else. A low, cold laugh that vibrates through your chest. A laugh that says, I know things you'll never survive. Every ache, every tremor, every heartbreak, it's fuel, and you're about to set fire to it all. And then you notice the edge, the hunger behind the hunger. Pain teaches patience. Pain teaches attention. Pain teaches ruthlessness. The world thinks they've measured you. They've counted your losses. But pain is infinite, and you've just begun to spend it. Each moment of suffering becomes strategy. Each scar becomes leverage. And when they think you've weakened, that's when you strike. Because here's the truth. The raw, unfiltered truth. Life never stops hurting. It never stops breaking. It never stops exposing you. And neither do you. You become the ledger of your own suffering, a collector of wounds, a dealer of truths no one else can bear. Pain doesn't destroy, it creates, shapes. Forgive nothing, give everything. And when the world finally notices, it won't know whether to fear you or envy you. Maybe both. You've learned to move where no one looks. Silent steps, quiet breaths, eyes that see what others miss. The shadows aren't empty. They're maps, paths, weapons. You start to understand invisibility isn't weakness, it's power. Everyone is loud. Everyone wants to be noticed. Everyone is predictable. But you've learned to be unseen until it's too late. Until you decide the rules. The thrill of the shadows isn't just hiding. It's watching, calculating, predicting. You see the cracks in people's armor, the pauses before they speak, the lies they can't hide in their eyes. And you store it all. Every glance, every twitch, every small betrayal. You learn patience in the silence. You sharpen instincts they didn't know they had to fear. The quiet becomes your playground, and chaos waits there for your command. Fear loves noise. Fear loves panic. But the unseen is its own weapon. You slip between the edges of attention and distraction. And in that space, you grow stronger. They think they control the world because they see it. You know the truth. Control is what they cannot see. Every unnoticed moment, every ignored warning, you claim it. You bend it. You own it. And suddenly, the world becomes predictable. And yet, the shadows aren't just for observation, they're for transformation. You stretch in them. Experiment, break rules no one even knew existed. You practice patience, precision, ruthlessness. You learn how to hit without warning, disappear without a trace. The thrill isn't just power, it's freedom. The kind of freedom that whispers, you are beyond their reach. And the best part, they'll never know how close you always were. Every predator fears the unknown. Every hunter fears the silent one in the trees. You become that predator, that hunter, not because you seek violence, because understanding, patience, and precision are sharper than any weapon. And when they finally notice, when they finally look, it's too late. The shadow has moved, and you are already inside their world, waiting, because the world rewards spectacle, and you reward subtlety. Every slip, every exposure, every misstep from others, you catalog, you learn, you wait. The shadow teaches more than pain ever could. It teaches control, strategy, survival, and in that space, you are untouchable. Not by luck, not by chance, but because you are awake, always awake, watching, waiting, smiling. They wrote the rules to keep you small, to keep you polite, to keep your fire dim. Every expectation, every line drawn, every limit imposed, it was theirs, not yours. And you followed them once, hesitated, obeyed, until the truth hits. Rules are chains, and chains aren't meant to protect. They're meant to trap. And now you're ready to break them. All of them. Every last one. Breaking rules isn't chaos. Not really. It's clarity. It's saying, I decide. The world will scream at you, tell you you're reckless, dangerous, irresponsible. And they're right. You are. But that's the point. Every chain shattered is a piece of freedom reclaimed. Every expectation crushed is proof you've grown sharper. The rebellion isn't loud. It's precise, calculated, deliciously inevitable. And here's the thrill. No one sees it coming. They expect compliance. They count on weakness. They measure your steps. And then, you don't step. You leap. You twist. You bend the rules until they break under your hands. Every failure they've used against you now turns into leverage. Every dismissal becomes ammunition. And the world? The world is too busy watching yesterday to notice today has already passed it by. The taste of defiance is sweet, electric, addictive. You feel it in your chest, in your fingers, in your eyes when you realize the truth. Nothing owns you. Not promises, not contracts, not laws, not people. Everything they tried to pin down, control, or contain, it slips through your fingers. And every chain you break doesn't just free you, it terrifies them. And that fear is delicious. They don't understand it. Can't understand it. That's the advantage. Everyone else follows rules like they're lifelines. You follow them like traps. You dismantle them. You reshape them. And suddenly, the world bends around your presence. Every misstep they take is predictable. Every hesitation they show is exploitable. And every expectation they cling to is a weapon you now wield. So break. Break fast. Break hard. Break everything they told you was sacred. The rules, the limitations, the invisible fences. Nothing is untouchable. Every boundary you've ever feared, it crumbles beneath your awareness. And with each collapse, you feel it. The surge, the clarity, the power. And in that moment, you realize the terrifying truth. Freedom isn't given, it's stolen. And you are already holding it. And just like that, we've ripped the mask off reality, exposed the lies, the chains, the limits they tried to lock you in. Feeling it? That fire inside, that rage, that hunger, that's your power, yours. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Now, it's on you. Take what you learned, turn it into action, break your own rules, and let the world feel you coming. And hey, don't just watch, leave a comment. I want to hear your story, your fight, your rise. Every word you drop fuels the next warrior out there.